Welcome to the English Mystic Podcast. I'm your host, English Mystic, Dragon Shaman, Spirit Whisperer, and Mr. Explorer of all things seen and unseen. You're tuning in to a very special series honouring the epic Dragon Thunder Summit 2025, a worldwide gathering of visionaries, dragon channels, energy workers and soul-shifting guides. The summit brought together 36 incredible speakers from across the world, each sharing their unique gifts, wisdom and connection with the dragon realms. In this podcast series, we're diving deep, one episode at a time, into the essence of each speaker, their transmission, their gifts, and all the healing and awakening and dragon connections they've brought forward. To explore more about each speaker or to access the full summit replays, visit www.dragonthunder2025.com. Now breathe deep, call in your dragons, and let's step through the portal together. Our next speaker is Fabiene Lui. She's a Shadow Integrator, light, language activator and spiritual coach who channels the wisdom of the dragons to guide others into awakening their multidimensional soul. In her powerful talk here, she's talking about blessings from the dragons for the new thunder moon. She offers light language activations and transmissions that help awaken deep soul remembrance, integrate shadow and rise in love. And working closely with dragons in dream space and energy work, Fabiene holds space as a mirror for your highest potential, reminding you of the divine power, magic and light already within you.
Well, welcome to Dragon Thunder. Thank you so much for coming. And so I thought maybe I could just do a quick introduction of yourself. So you your talk today is on blessings from the dragons for the new thunder moon and light language activation. So just before you get started, I'd just like to introduce you as someone who had dragons first appear to you in the third phase of your waking. So that sounds like an incredible journey. But you're a shadow integrator, a light language activator, a spiritual coach, and through this you integrate the shadow self and the path into the multidimensional soul. Does that sound right?
That sounds about right.
Great. Perfect.
There's a twists and turns, and the journey is ever evolving and shaking and moving.
Absolutely. And I think for most people here, the journey isn't linear, is it?
No.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Something's happened to the...
I'm back.
Oh, great. Sorry about that.
All good. Where I am now is a really immensely peaceful, really cozy, grateful, humbling place. And so much has happened to bring me here, and obviously the dragons were a big part of that. I'm not going to go too much into my dragon story because it doesn't necessarily feel very relevant for this sharing. But the purpose of me being here today is to help others recognize, deeply acknowledge, deeply accept, and start to really architect themselves in the integrity and in the multidimensionality that they are. So what I've noticed within myself and with the collective is we've done a lot of healing. We've done so much healing. We've done a lot of shadow work. We've done all the things. And what we are able to do now is to really accept our integrity of self, because we keep returning to the center of our center. We keep returning to the absolute sanctuary of our heart selves. And we know how to do that more proficiently now. And I think that's a really amazing thing to be able to do for yourself, and to sit with yourself, and to meet yourself really truthfully. And Chantel, I came in the last sort of 15-20 minutes of your session, but I think what you are doing is really beautiful in allowing or guiding people to surrender to that part of themselves where they are in that blissful state, they are in that deep state of acceptance, such that they can flow and spiral through in all that we are. So now that we have the clarity and the ability to do that more proficiently, the other thing that we are practicing and mastering of ourselves is how to architect our light. And this is something that I've been doing myself for a while now, but it's become more clear to me about how I have done that myself, and how I'm helping others to be that reflection or that mirror of how they are remembering how to do that for themselves as well. So the reason why this is so important is because to be able to hold your light and to wield your light is to really be able to stand in the boldness, the transparency, the authenticity, and the clarity of all that you are, so that you know how you're facilitating your light. And that's what we've come here to do for a large part. We're not only here to remember who we are, but we're here to be that reflection and show others how we are facilitating our light, how we are sharing and moving in our light selves in our own unique way, in our own unique modalities, to create the harmonic reflections and anchor points for everyone that we meet and encounter, so that they can understand where their most harmonic points are, to really start that journey deeper, wider, further in, and to start remembering more and more of our light selves. So the dragons assist us. The dragons, I think a lot of people are starting to, well, not just starting to, have already come into the deep knowing and recognition and introduction of dragons, and perhaps their own dragon selves. And that was the first phase. The first phase was the meeting of the dragon, was really symbolic of meeting yourself in the integrity, because as we know, the dragons do not appear unless we're in the absolute integrity of our heart. But now, beyond that, the dragons are saying, now that you can do that, we are helping you to really construct the architecture of that integrity so that it's more autonomous. So, when you're practicing something, very much, you master it, and it becomes something you just do really, really easily. That's mastery, right? And this is what we're moving towards more and more, is that we are standing in our light, we are sitting in our stillness, we are breathing in our stillness, and we are just holding ourselves autonomously, knowing that in that autonomy, we are free in our sovereignty. We are truly, truly in our sovereignty. And through the breath, we are free, we are transparent, we are truly vulnerable. Vulnerable in the sense that we are truly accepting of all facets of us, not just the parts that we want to show, but all the parts that we're still reconciling, all the parts that are still in our darkness, in our shadows. And we're deeply okay and comfortable with all of it, knowing that we are whole, we are deeply unified because of it. So this light architecture of our energy field, of our light body, then becomes something that's incredibly resilient in the way that we are resilient within ourselves to be truly comfortable with who we are, that we can walk this world with our own wind, with our own breath, with our own fire, and be totally, totally in love with who we are. Not with the spiritual ego or any of those egoic tendencies and energy streams that can be perhaps distracted by some of the confidence that we perhaps fake it until we make it. but the true confidence of somebody who truly knows who they are, their worth, their value, their purpose, their being, their freedom, and just their place in this world, their belonging in this world. And I think at the core of it, that's what we truly desire, to feel like we belong, not just of this world, because sometimes that's really hard, but to belong to ourselves, to belong to family, to belong to friends, a greater network outside of us that we know that we are connected to, that we are choosing to interact with. That sense of belonging holds us into a community of purpose, validation, and we need that for each other because we're here to support each other. So that integrity is the piece that we're all working on right now. So what I'd like to do today is to reflect what that might feel like for you, what you may see, feel, know, experience, hear, taste even, or construct for yourself in the ways that are purposeful, that you're ready for, and that you're willing to do. So if you are here, if you're listening, if you're joining, if you're in any way a part of this, you're ready. You're ready. You're already ready. So there's no doubt.
Just by being
here. That's it. That's it. Because the thing is too, there's really nothing to do, right? Even though that we are being guided through something, a meditation or some kind of modality, you're already doing it, right? In your internal world, in your internal machinations of self, you're already doing it. But what is happening for you to deepen in the experiential realm is that you are truly expressing it, right? And that's the magic. That's the magic of being human. So, any questions before we begin? Just to pause.
Everyone's got their hands up and no one's waving at me as yet.
That's fine.
So I think let's get started.
Okay. So before we start, I'd like to set up sacred space. So this too is something that I encourage you to practice for yourself, that when you're facilitating for yourself, or if you're still practicing the ways of holding yourself, that you practice opening sacred space. And certainly when you're facilitating, the practice of opening sacred space is one that is a really good spiritual practice of hygiene and mastery to ensure that, our humanity, even though we're accessing all of this through our humanity, that we really don't get in our own way and we allow all things that may be distraction, distortions or disruptions to really step outside and give us that clarity to really flow through our higher selves and the highest means of accessing our multidimensionality. So if it is safe for you to do so, and if you're comfortable to do so, I invite you to close down your eyes. And I invite you to just take some gentle breaths to arrive here in this space, to arrive within yourself, within the bounty and beauty of your body. And I want you to either tell yourself out loud or in your heart that you are safe. I am safe. And perhaps you need to repeat that a few times for that to arrive and land within you, and that's okay. Give yourself the grace. So the safety is paramount and crucial to the way in which you're holding yourself. So if you are not feeling safe entirely, then perhaps identify pockets or layers of self where it does feel safe and just reside there. And that's okay. And as you slightly deepen your breath, you are starting to call in all layers of self, all aspects of self, to come into divine union of oneness in the I am, in the presence of the totality of your I am, where you're starting to breathe through your body into the total acceptance, acknowledgement, to open into the grand vulnerability of self. That is, to acknowledge all self. And if that's all your capacity is, then just acknowledge. If you have more capacity to accept all of you, then start to breathe that. If you have more capacity to bring love and feel love for all of you, then give that to yourself. And I'm going to open sacred space. To we call on the highest levels of source light and source love available to us in this now moment for our highest revelation of self, for our highest reconciliation and holding in the divine I am. From the ethers of heaven, may this energy stream down through our soul star, through our crown, and all the way down through our third eye, the throat, the high heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, the root, and connecting down even further into the earth star, 6 feet below, grounding down even deeper and connecting in to the heart, core, womb of Mother Gaia, taking your place as a child of the stars and a child of the earth, your own unique location, in your own essence and energetic signature, that which upholds the sacred web of consciousness. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your beingness. We call to the ancestors of the land where you were birthed, and the ancestors of the land where you walk now, to hold you, to hold us in great reverence and honor for the elemental wisdom that we are, and to open onto us the deeper secrets and wisdom of the elements, of all that we were birthed from, and to hold us here in sacred space. As we rise up in form and function, we acknowledge and call to the ancestors of our paternal and maternal lineages, those who birthed us into being, that give us the sacred breath of life. And we ask that you open the lines of loving wisdom that you are through all of your lived consciousness, as it flows through us. Open the deep pools and resource of this loving wisdom, so that we remember who we are, how we walk in this world, and how we flow in divine grace. And as we rise up through the cosmic channels, we ask our cosmic lineage to hold us in greater transparency and openness through our multidimensional channels. Those who are willing to support, assist, guide, protect, and hold us in this sacred space of being. We open the lines of this cosmic mastery and ask it to flow through us, that we may embody and anchor this multidimensional wisdom deep into the core of our humanity. And we stand here, graceful, humble, and powerful in our presence. I ask all lower emotions, entities, and beings to leave this space as I close all portals to lower dimensions. Taru sordam, darushonda tile garda namakilesh arai, turush turuti varak aran, zoro fole dak aran daragendaham. May dragon fire replenish this space, cleanse this space, and keep us in our aliveness. Take a deep breath in, all the way up to the top, holding for a moment, and then exhaling deeply down into the core of the earth, anchoring yourself in this sacred space, in this now. As I now declare this a sacred space under the 7th plane of truth and illumination. And here we all are. I invite you to keep your eyes closed if you can, to keep the sensitivity and the awareness, to heighten yourself through your clear senses as we move through this space. And I invite you to be responsible for your own space as we flow in this space together, as we co-create together. But as you are reconciling and remembering the depth, the mastery and the truth of all that you are, have the intention to hold yourself with greater love, with deeper parameters of safety within your body, that you may hold your light. And in holding your light, being transparent in your light, you are able to wield your light and facilitate it in any direction, in any flow, in any means, in divine alignment of your choosing. So set your space. Good. I can feel a lot of you already understanding and feeling, experiencing what this might look like, feel like, know like for you. And I just want you to breathe in that autonomy. Just observing through your breath. So just intuitively breathing. We're not doing anything here. We are just breathing and observing. So taking a few intuitive breaths and just observing your breath. Is it smooth? Is it a little stuttered in some places, in your inhale, in your exhale? Is it catching in your inhale? Is it catching in your exhale? Does it feel constricted? Does it feel expansive? Just notice and give yourself that acknowledgement and acceptance. Thank you, breath, for showing me who I am. Thank you, breath, for giving me space to feel into my safety and to feel into my aliveness. Now, this is not breath work. You are just breathing. And already your breath is communicating to you what is happening in your energy field, what is happening in your inner world. So now you may have a sense of where in your energy field you may feel more whole, or you may feel a little bit more thin or gappy or vulnerable in the sense where it doesn't feel comforting or comfortable. Allow yourself to go to those spaces and just breathe there. Good. And just like that, you're already architecting your light body. Now allow yourself to flow into a space with the intention of greater consolidation and slight expansion in the space within your body, perhaps, or in your energy field if you can perceive it, where you feel strong, where you feel comfortable, where you feel like you are empowered in yourself, where your light shines freely. Breathe into that space and deepen that breath, either in your inhale to expand or a deeper exhale to really set that space with greater presence of self. And just do this for a few breaths. Can you feel the difference? We're just breathing. That is how powerful your breath is. You don't need time, dedicated time for meditation or ritual. You can do this for yourself through every breath that you take. So now I want you to come back into your center of your center, so your heart space. Find your heart space, easy breathing, relaxed, easy breathing. Find your heart space. Perhaps you can deepen your breath a little bit to arrive there. And feel, listen, experience, perceive how your heart feels now, what your heart is telling you now, just through those few breaths that we took. And surrender a little bit deeper into the center of your heart and the center of that center. Find that space in the absolute 0 point of your heart self. And breathe easy there. If you find that the heart feels a little blocked or a little resistant, that's okay. Just observe, be with that, and just breathe through it. Breathe with it until you can breathe through it. Don't push. Allow yourself to stay in your safety. And when you're in the center of your center, now I want you to really emanate through your heart field, your heart light, and to shine through that little bit brighter, that little bit clearer, that little bit more transparently. Just for you. You're not on show for anybody else. Just for you. You're already in your own space. This is just for you. To experience deeper all that you are. And I'm going to help you a little. I'm going to give you a little momentum. And you are just going to breathe and observe yourself. So amor. Allow yourself to relax. Let go of all of those edges that you're permitting yourself to soften. Right in the periphery of your field. The stuff that perhaps you haven't had the capacity, the time, the resource, the willingness to let go. Let that soften now. Take a few breaths just to acclimatize and to come back to equilibrium. So much is shifting just through your gentle breathing. Now, as you let all of that clarify more and more, as you let those layers dissolve and shift more and more, this is where you start to architect the light that you truly are and that you desire to experience. So again, let's take this slowly. We don't have to do this fast. Give yourself pause of breath to just check in. Check in with the parameters of your safety. Do you feel safe within your body to hold this? Do you feel safe in your body to hold the light that you already are with greater transparency, with greater truth, with more grace? Can you gift yourself more presence? If you meet some areas of resistance, that's okay. Step back. Breathe through the areas where it feels like a yes, and create pathways more gently through those spaces. That's it. That's it. Good. And perhaps now you're able to perceive even more clearly where those gaps are, where it may perceive to be more opaque or less clear in your light. So now, follow the sounding and start building your light architecture. Now, what does this mean? So if you perceive like energy grids, right, so too are you, in the way that your heart is pulsing and emanating through an electromagnetic field. That electromagnetic field is what informs the potential light to become matter, right? Where that can transmit more clearly, more fully, more authentically are the places where you feel safest, where you feel most grounded, and where you feel most comfortable in your all self, in your one self, in the I am self. So when you are architecting your light body, use those pathways where you flow naturally. And perhaps as you breathe, or you might like to move, or however you choose to express yourself, right? Or maybe it's just through pure intention of self, in your imagination, through your feeling, or whatever clear sense that you use. Imagine that that pathway is crystallizing as light. So it may not necessarily look like energy grids in the ways like in linear form, right? But they may be spirals. You may be connecting the dots for yourself. You may be finding new harmonic points in your light field, in your energy field, that you are connecting. You may also be creating different or new neural pathways in your physical body, in your brain, that allow you to take those leaps, to connect with greater capacity and deeper resource to leap across that space, and to connect in with that other point that you know is waiting there, or that has been there dormant. And all you are doing is breathing and intending yourself to do this. So when you're ready, follow my light language and start architecting your light. You are ready. Let's go. Don't forget to breathe. So hold my own, keep my own, some beautiful. Now just take a few breaths. Let's pause. Let's recenter. Let's recalibrate. Come back into the center of your center and allow yourself to marvel at the light that you have just architected. It is so amazingly bright and beautiful. I see you. I see all of you. So just marvel and be in the awe of all that you are in your light self. You are incredibly bright. Don't forget to exhale. I can feel a lot of you inhaling a lot, but the exhale is quite shallow. So in this part of this exercise, the inhale is what gives you that expansion, that slight stretch to kind of make those connections and to really architect that light. When you exhale, you give yourself completion, right? So if you think of the breath as a circle, you inhale and you exhale, you must complete the exhale to the same point of the inhale, so that you complete and you reconcile within yourself. So if you're just breathing in and just exhaling really quickly, you're not allowing yourself to go through that full spiral and cycle of remembrance, right? Exhaling slowly or more slowly can also help you ground, set, and center. Right? So it doesn't feel like you're just pushing and stretching without really allowing yourself the time or the space to be with it, to acknowledge it, to accept it, and to love what is. And that's a really, really important point of reconciliation, right? And then once you do that, the ultimate point of reconciliation is that in the end of your exhale, you let it go. And there is no expectation of self. That's the fullness. That's the circle. That's completing the spiral. This is the reconciliation of how the light is being architected. But please don't forget to exhale. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to activate more of the harmonic points. So what are harmonic points? Harmonic points, in the way that I perceive them and describe them, are points of reference within yourself where you have experienced a lesson of love, right? Now, we've all come here to experience very different lessons of love. All of our experiences, our interactions with people, our circumstances, our environments, all of those things, these are all lessons of love that we have chosen. Whether there be a really big overarching theme or one in a small cycle and season of time that we are choosing. So these harmonic points are lessons of love that have fully been reconciled for yourself. So some of those lessons of love are really beautiful, like heart-opening ones. They're really easy because they feel like love, right? They're the easy ones. The harder lessons of love that we perceive as harder are the ones where we really flow through our challenges, where we really met with, hardness, toughness, challenge, all of that. Those lessons of love are also equally powerful, valid, and purposeful. Now, these are the ones that are slightly more challenging to reconcile because we don't always claim the wisdom in them. Sometimes it takes us a little while to get to that point, right? You know, you've all had experiences where you've gone through a tough time and then you've come out the other side and you've seen why you've had to go through that, right? That's the full reconciliation of that lesson of love. That then opens and sits there as a harmonic point waiting to be activated. So when you activate these harmonic points, they turn on in your light body, they turn on in your human body as the wisdom, as the resource that we are, that help us keep building on those foundations so that we still have the capacity to keep going and growing and evolving through the greater lessons of love that we're choosing. These harmonic points are important because it allows us to join the dots. You know, sometimes those dots take a long time to join up. I mean, I remember experiences in my life where I didn't understand them until maybe 10, 15 years later, right? And that's okay. Everything's in divine timing. Everything has its own season and cycle. But in this practice, what you're doing now is you are recognizing and receiving these lessons of love. You're reclaiming and claiming the wisdom that is already inherent within you, that is already there. You're turning them on. So in this architecture, you are illuminating more of yourself so that you understand you have that resource there and that you can access it at any time. And some of them may even start joining up a little bit more coherently. So in this practice, in this part here, I want you to just, again, follow the sounding. And perhaps this time you may feel like you're moving a little bit faster through your architecting. Right? So breathe. Breathe intuitively. If you need to breathe a little bit faster, or perhaps faster means drawing out your breath more to give more momentum to yourself, to reach those points, to activate those points, then do so. Right? There's no set formula to how you need to breathe. That's all up to you. So let's activate your harmonic points. All right. So center, again, check your parameters of safety within your body and just do what you're comfortable with. There's no rush. Let's go. Toroshatilak ardamak urdi visherak ainanan. Horoshorakile bet ikarat anamai rut andaka shindut urdamanak ilanda. Rishardamakilek indut urdami filai. Turishiro. Tarashanda turutu indek indak aratanamandush durushun dutirak ai rai durut imtarat indak aradanam rushti kurdamak arain dalishindut urdamakilen dart urdamak ish ai torun Bikurdak ardamay lek elesh ende toron barosh ti dorosh ordamakilen. May the dragon fire clear the pathway with greater transmission and greater fluidity for the breath of life that you are to fully reconcile and claim the wisdom, the loving wisdom that you are through all of the lessons of love that you are. Toshiro hey ron tio. And now they're asking that you bring your divine masculine and feminine aspects of self into balance. So you are already in balance. There is nothing unbalanced or imbalanced about you. It's more that the recognition of your balance needs to be a more conscious awareness of self. So however you envision or perceive your divine masculine, however you envision your divine feminine, bring them into equality to meet themselves in the center of your center, meeting eye to eye, face to face, one no more, one no less, just meeting in deep equality, deep permission, and deep presence. And just allowing yourself to equalize through your breath. And in this moment, we are all holding space for each other as divine mirrors, as divine reflections of unconditional love, a divine reflection of the return home. We are all reflecting this perception of balance, equality, deep receptivity of the one self through these aspects. One of great respect, reverence and honor. Meeting yourself, bowing to yourself, eye to eye. And there you are. Hold yourself in the grace of this light, the light that you have architected, the light that you have built and created in your responsibility of self. The responsibility of your reclamation, the responsibility of all that you are and all that you are choosing and desiring to express through your humanity. All of you is permitted. All of you is valued. All of you is loved. All of you is deeply valuable. All of you are in divine timing. Gift yourself that one breath of deep inhalation through the center of your center, really drawing up right to the top and holding for a moment. And then deep exhale down, grounding, centering. And feeling your spine really rising and straightening. Feel your body, your posture rising in your warriorship of self. Where the fight is not the fight of violence and conflict. It's a fight for the justice of your peace, the justice of your love. The parameters of which you set. The parameters of which you get to experience fully, wholly. So perceive your energy field again. Perceive yourself through your physical body. Feel, know, hear, taste, smell, experience yourself. Again, in greater truth, greater transparency. I am. You're here. You're doing it. You're holding your light. You're wielding your light in your own unique way. Gently allow yourself to come back deeper into the body, deeper into the oneness of now. Be more present in this space with all who are dancing and flowing, spiraling, completing, opening and awakening here. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes and return.
That was so beautiful, holding your light in your own way. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all for sharing who you are. When I say sharing, it's not like we're, doing anything. We are just being. We are just emanating our heart light effortlessly, gloriously.
Yeah. Yeah, in our own unique way. As you
That's
said,
it.
it's in our own unique way. And this is the thing, these sorts of opportunities are an amazing way for you to be able to help people connect to that part of themselves and in fact activate those harmonic points. That was quite incredible. I could feel my body start to sort of like almost like buzz and zing. It was great. It was like, oh, and I could feel it shifting. Again, as I was shifting, I felt energy moving through me, felt myself really yawning as well. And as, other speakers have said, is yawning is one of those things that's really sort of like, yeah, old energy out, which is why, as you said, that exhale is so important.
Yeah, that's right. So, we are all practicing and mastering a lot of different ways of how we're experiencing our light, how we are facilitating our light. There's a lot of facilitators in here, and there's a lot of people who are still getting comfortable with their light, right? You're in divine timing. Please don't feel like you are too far behind or too far away from everybody else. We're all exactly where we need to be. But the practice is really acknowledging that sometimes, I know that I've been to healing circles or healing events where you feel great in that moment, in that session, in that workshop, amazing, I can do all the things. And then as soon as you leave, it starts to deflate. Right? It starts to wear off, right? And it's not because you didn't do it right or anything like that. It is just that we have forgotten that we need to empower ourselves and be responsible for how we are holding ourselves through that journey, right? And I think in the beginning, when you are experiencing all of this, it's just you give a bit of that responsibility, you give a bit of that power away because, oh, this person is healing me. Nobody's healing you. You are doing this for yourself. You are experiencing who you are in your capacity and resource in that moment. So if you can remember to come back to yourself, to meet yourself in exactly where you are in your safety, in your truth, right? It allows you to really be honest and transparent in how you are creating the capacity to hold your light in that way so that the work you are doing sticks, right? It holds greater anchoring and integration because you are the one that's responsible for what's happening there.
Yeah.
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 So often when we go to group experiences, we tend to just okay, well, there's sacred space here, so I'm good, right? I don't need to do anything. No, hold yourself, be responsible, be accountable for what's happening for you, right? And also be in the space and know that you are held in your own way and that then nothing in that space can affect you or impact you because you are holding who you are, right? Even if it means that you only have the capacity to be here rather than out here. That is okay. There is going to be so many times where you feel like you just need to be here, right? I'm definitely in this I'm just here space because it's winter in Melbourne, right? It's cold. Okay. And, I'm in my wintering of self. I'm in my deep retreat of self. So I'm not out there because I'm not in my summer.
Yeah.
Right? I'm in my winter. I'm in my cocoon. But also within that space, I can still do stuff. I still have resource. I can still resource myself, but in a different way. Right? So we always need to honor who we are, where we are at, and be really, really truthful with, to meet ourselves exactly in that space, in that time. So I hope that you can carry that forth with you in a practice in whatever way serves you. And as you may have experienced, the simpleness, the simplicity of your breath, the one breath, can already shift so much, because the breath communicates everything. The breath is life, right? So again, just pare it back. How is your breath moving? Is it smooth? Is it deep? Is it catching? Is it stuttering? All of those things will already tell you how you are able to meet yourself in that moment. And then you just go from there, right?
Yeah.
We don't need to do breath work, so to speak. And don't get me wrong, breath work's amazing, right? But we don't always have that capacity, like, oh, I've got to go to a breathwork class. In this moment, are you not breathing now? We all have to breathe. Breathe.
Yeah.
And be informed by yourself. So I truly hope that you can continue to empower yourself in this way and know how deeply powerful you are just by being. Power doesn't come from how loud, how bold, how much you can do. I think we get caught up in that a little bit. You know, you can feel power, the power of somebody in their silent presence. And that actually is the greatest power, right?
Yeah.
So this is the power that we're truly seeking, that we are safe, comfortable, and truly honest, right, with our presence. And that your ability to do that creates such power that everybody notices.
Yeah.
And I see all of you. You architected your light field, your light structures, your light body, your physical body, really beautifully. So give yourself the grace, give yourself deep love and compassion.
That word grace definitely comes up with dragons, doesn't it? That whole, give yourself grace. You're a huge spiritual being living a human existence. Give yourself grace as you work in your own way, work with the breath, like you say, just a simple thing, just to keep bringing yourself. You do not need to always go to big things and big events. You can do it daily, simply, gently, with grace. I really
That's
like
right.
that. So I'm going to put in the chat your link. So if anybody would like to work with you or get in touch with you, they're there. Do you want to just sort of like let them know? I've got your website, your Facebook and your Instagram, and you have also got a light language attunement and activation with the dragons. So do you want to tell me about that?
Yes, so that's an opportunity to go a little bit more deeply into the energy body, working through the chakra field to attune and to recalibrate through the highest frequencies of love and light that you already are. So really, I think when we're doing this work, sometimes we get a little bit caught up of, I'm not there yet, but actually we already are. So it's an opportunity to really pause, to breathe, and to center through all that you already are and you're becoming. So through the light language, through the light architecture, that's what the dragons are offering and guided me to assist and to reflect for anyone who is wanting to go a little bit deeper. So the work that I do with my clients is very much about light architecture in the way to remember all of their harmonic points, and that arises in an expression of light language. So you may have heard me speaking, I'm speaking my soul language. Everybody has their own unique expression of that. And as you reconcile more and more all of those harmonic points and activate and illuminate them with more transparency, with more receptivity of self, what can arise is an expression of what we call light language through vocals, whether it be speech, toning, or through movement, or even scribing, writing, painting, and drawing. So everybody has that capacity and resource to express themselves in this way through their soul harmonics.
Amazing. Well, thank you. I've put that, if you'd like to work with Fabienne more, that's in the chat for you to be able to go on to. Do connect with her as well on her Facebook and Instagram page, so you can follow her more regularly, drop into your feed at regular opportunity. So that's all there. Fabienne, thank you so much for what has been a really lovely presentation. And thank you very much for activating my harmonic points. I feel I'm going to enjoy integrating today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kev, for all of this, your hard work putting all of this together. You know, it doesn't go unnoticed, and the energy that you bring together is just truly amazing. So big thanks to Kevin and to all of you for being here, co-creating this energy, and blessings forth always.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for journeying with us today on the English Mystic Podcast, Dragon Thunder Summit 2025 edition. This is just one voice, one frequency in a greater dragon symphony, each echoing across the earth right now. If you felt the stir in your heart, if you heard a whisper from your dragon allies, then the work is beginning. Be sure to explore all 36 epic speakers and their transmissions by heading over to the website www.dragonthunder2025.com, where the portal is open. Until next time, walk boldly with your dragons, speak your truth like fire, and may your path be guided by the ancient winds. Stay mystical, stay wild, stay dragon aligned. This is the English Mystic. See you next time.
In the realm where spirits dance, where dragons soar with fiery glance, a song of power, strength untold, for human hearts, for young and old. Wings that span the starry night, scales that gleam with ancient light. Dragons rise, guardians bold, tales of healing, tales untold. Almighty ones, wise and grand, protectors of this sacred land. With breath of fire, a timeless art, they heal and mend each wounded heart. Through shadows deep and forests wide, they guide us with a noble stride. In the dance of life, a sacred chance to heed the call of dragon trance. Scale by scale, a shield they weave. In the moonlit night, their magic breathe. Whispers of protection, strong and true. In the realm where dreams come true. So gather round, O kin of earth. Let the dragon's melody give birth to healing streams and fiery light, as we journey through the shaman's night. O dragons, ancient and divine, your friendship like the stars will shine. In the tapestry of life, a song we weave with spirits, dragons,